Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week. And halfway through, we came up with a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. Then we spun it off to its own thing. We're up at number 68. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I put a post out. Zach and I are holding coffees. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Now, before we start, we're not in our usual Porsche Cayenne. It's in getting serviced.
It certainly is.
So we're in a Ford Escape PHEV.
Yeah.
All right, your questions from Instagram.
Always love the content of your questions, coffee, and cars. Even my 87-year-old mother enjoys watching you both.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom. So after 16 months of waiting, my black roof Cavalry Blue RAV4 Hybrid XXE with the tech package is coming in 3 weeks. At the same time, my NX 450h Plus, the plug-in hybrid, is coming. I drive a lot, about 500 kilometers a week in the city for work, but each weekend I drive another 500 kilometers for the mountain trip. Yeah, so, well, you go ahead, you start, and then I'll add my
I don't know what the
thoughts.
question is.
Well, which one should he go for? Because they're both coming in at the same
they're both
time.
coming in. Oh, I thought you were getting two cars. I say get both of them. Listen, probably the plug-in. If you can afford to plug in, that's going to really average down your costs through the week in city driving. Now,
but he does so many kilometers. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but you're still going to have lower average fuel consumption. So it's either or. I mean, the smart money is just get the Cavalry Blue and just drive
hybrid.
it.
You get that sport model, that XSE. It comes with a lot of features. So I pulled some numbers. So the NX 450h plug-in hybrid gets 2.8 liters equivalent per 100 kilometers. That's 84 miles per gallon equivalent. Once the battery is depleted, it gets 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers, 36 miles combined. So you've got 60 kilometers of range, 37 miles. The RAV4 hybrid gets a combined 6 liters per 100 kilometers, 39 miles per gallon combined. So my only concern is the amount of kilometers that you drive each day. Really, plug-in hybrids work really well if you charge them all the time.
Just let me
stay
jump
really in that range.
Let me jump in. Okay, 500 kilometers a week divided by 5 working days. That's 100 kilometers a day. You're going to do 60 kilometers of that in EV mode, right? So you are going to average down your overall fuel consumption. The longer trips on the weekend won't be as efficient, though.
No.
So, it comes down to, and then one is way, way, way more expensive than the other.
Yeah.
So if it's overall costs, including fuel, then the RAV4 hybrid is going to be the one because it's cheaper to buy and you can put all that money towards gas.
For sure. I mean, the NX 450h plug-in hybrid is great. I mean, people want that. That one is hard to get. But I just think fuel economy-wise, you might be better with the hybrid. I mean, it's a real toss-up, but you're paying more for the NX, so I think you're not going to make that up in fuel economy.
Nope.
Do you want a premium luxury brand, or are you okay with a non-luxury brand?
Yeah, but you get the Cavalry Blue.
I like the Cavalry Blue. It looks really good. Hey guys, absolutely love watching you both, and I'm a longtime fan. Thank you. Is a plug-in hybrid more efficient in hybrid mode, not EV mode, with the battery charged up, compared to driving it when the battery is depleted? If so, will the car's computer know to use the battery reserve by the time the fuel tank is also used?
There's a lot going on in that question.
Yeah.
So if you're just running in regular hybrid, if it's a plug-in hybrid, like we're sitting in a plug-in hybrid right now, and if you run it in hybrid mode, it's not going to be any more efficient because the battery's charged. You got to remember, hybrid cars have very small batteries. In the case of a RAV4, it's like 1.5 kilowatts, right? It's very small. So it's charging and discharging a lot. The same thing would be happening with your PHEV. Now, the second half of that.
Yeah, so he just wants to know, is it more efficient in hybrid mode, not EV mode, with the battery charged up, comparing it to when the battery is depleted?
No, I don't think there'd be any difference in that.
I think it's similar. I think that you get the most benefits, as we said in the last question, to stay within that EV range daily to get the best fuel economy.
Okay, so what happens with the PHEV is it depletes the battery to a certain point and always keeps what it needs to run in hybrid mode. Like I mentioned, it only needs about 1.5 kilowatts in the case of a RAV4 to run as a hybrid, and that would be the same the whole time. It wouldn't make a difference if it was charged or not.
No. Rumor has it that car manufacturers may potentially all go subscription-based as time goes along for things like heated, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, and so forth. They already do it for connected services, so why not for everyday things?
Well, I think this is going to backfire. BMW came out and said they're going to charge a subscription for heated seats, and there was a huge uproar. And I think the car brands that, excuse me, don't do that and advertise that they don't do that will get more business.
For sure.
People really hate paying for something and then having to keep paying for it. That's not what we're like. For example, we got our new GTI. We get 4 years of connected services. I didn't even want to sign up. I said to the guy, I don't need to sign up for this. He goes, well, you know, you can access this and that. Anyway, I did it. But at the end of the 4 years, I'm not paying a nickel more for that.
No.
Not a nickel.
No. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I think it would be a mistake to do it on comfort features like heated front seats. I mean, especially in Canada or cold parts of the US, these things should really come standard now. So I think it would be a mistake. I think it would also be a mistake if you did it with driver assist technology. These are things that people want. They all did it, they would get away with it.
Yeah.
If only a few do it, you've got yourselves a problem.
I have no problem with your car comes pre-done with something and it's just not turned on because you didn't pay for it. Okay, if they send me an email and they say, oh, by the way, we can unlock another 30 horsepower in your car if you pay $500 more, I've been going, well, I might do that. But that sort of thing is fine.
Yeah.
But to just keep your heated seats and steering wheel going, forget it.
No, forget it. I just wouldn't buy a vehicle if I had to pay for that.
There will be
stuff.
a revolt.
No way.
There'll be pitchforks at the factory gate.
Yeah, they won't be able to do it. I don't believe it on those comfort features. That's going to be a difficult thing to get through. Would you leave your reliable car that is good for something that might be more premium, but also more unreliable? Kia Sportage for a large premium SUV.
Hey, I am all about getting what you want. I'm not really hung up on it's got to be the most reliable car you can get and all this kind of stuff. Like the way we run our life is that we buy what we like. We also happen to like Porsches and they're pretty reliable. So that solves that problem. But you know what? I say go for it. You can get a premium SUV, but just make sure it's under warranty. Get an extended warranty.
I also think it depends on the person. If you're the kind of person who's not going to sleep well at night worrying about whether your vehicle is reliable or not, I would keep the one that you have that makes you feel most comfortable and reliable with. Zach is right. We recently bought a Volkswagen GTI. We aren't concerned about reliability. If something happens, we'll take it to the dealership. We also have other vehicles to drive. So if we're out of having that GTI for a while, it's not going to make or break us.
Yeah, but you can have your cake and eat it too. So if you're going to buy a premium SUV and it's used, for example, get one with a certified pre-owned warranty. You can also buy aftermarket warranty so you can sleep at night and drive something nicer. My whole thing at cars, and a lot of people just want appliances. I'm not into appliances. I want what I want. And I'm also, life is too short to drive a crappy car. That's what I think.
Now, we have a Cayenne diesel. It's been really good to us. We haven't had any issues
Except
with it.
it's in for service today.
It's an older model, but the service, it really hasn't had any issues at all. It's just that the warranty's coming up, so we're getting it checked out. But it's been good to us. So would I take that vehicle that's older, just because it's older and the technology is dated, and move into a brand new Porsche? No, I wouldn't.
Not going to do it.
I would stay where we're at. Honda's score is well below the industry average for the 2024 JD Power Vehicle Dependability Study. I have a 2024 Civic Si with 4,400 kilometers on it, and I keep having warnings of parking sensor problems, low-speed braking control problems, and brake system problems. Braking system may be reduced. When I first phoned the dealer, they said the car is new and not to worry, but the brakes seem pretty important. Has Honda quality dropped?
Well, we see statistically, yes. We've seen from JD Power and Consumer. We did 2 videos recently, and I'll put the links in the description below. One about JD Power and their top picks, And then we'll also do one for Consumer Reports. And Honda and Acura didn't make the list of the Consumer Reports. And you know what? Car companies go through batches of issues, and Honda might be going through some. And the thing is, don't let the dealer tell you, don't worry about it. If it's a safety-related thing like braking, push them to make sure it gets rectified. I'm suspecting it's the camera. It's got forward collision warning, autonomous braking, and all that. It might be the camera isn't aligned properly, which is throwing off the braking system.
Now, JD Power in the recent dependability study, you're right, has Honda in 18th spot. JD Power gives the Civic a good reliability score of 80 out of 100. Consumer Reports gives Honda as a brand a much better score. Consumer Reports has Honda in 5th spot. CR, or Consumer Reports, gives the Civic a predicted reliability score of 60 out of 100, so lower than what JD Power has. So I'm thinking JD Power is driven by different vehicles. Remember, Honda has introduced quite a few new vehicles, and remember that sometimes it has to do with the infotainment system.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. JD Power does it on a 3-year dependability.
Yeah.
Was it 3 years ago? I think it was when the Civic was introduced.
2020?
No, it wasn't 2021. I think it was 3 years ago that the latest Civic was introduced, and there could have been some problems with those first year models, which is showing up in the scores. I have no problem recommending a Honda Civic. And just work with your dealer, push back, say to them, this is unacceptable, I want to get answers.
If you could pick between the NX Hybrid, Q5, GLC, or X3, which would be your pick?
Slow down, say it again.
NX Hybrid, Q5, GLC, or X3, which would be your pick? I really want a hybrid, but German luxury brands don't seem to be moving towards regular hybrids and only do plug-in hybrids. Yeah, that is true.
You got to slow down for me, Andrew. You're going too fast.
Too quick for you.
So the problem,
trying to get in as many questions as we can.
Okay, so the only real hybrid of the bunch is the NX, which is the classic Toyota hybrid system. The others are plug-in hybrids. So you got to really get your head around the fact, are you going to physically plug in every night and be committed to that? Are you willing to spend the extra to get the plug-in hybrid over just a regular gas model? Back to the question we had at the very beginning. If you're not driving a ton, say for example, you're looking at the GLC, which is coming with a plug-in hybrid, it's going to be expensive, and you could have years of driving just the regular gas model to make up the difference in cost. So a lot of people, like we said this in our last question, Coffee Cars, buying a certain car to save money on fuel can be folly, because that car could be really expensive. You could buy a whole lot of gas for 10 grand.
Yeah, and you're right about the German brands and the plug-in hybrids, and they don't offer a lot of range, and they're very expensive. So you have to really consider that. I don't know what the GLC plug-in hybrid range will be, but right now the X3 isn't great, and the Q5e isn't great either. So you have to really consider that. Now, here's something, the Lincoln Nautilus is going to be offered in a hybrid. You might want to consider that. And there's also rumors that Genesis is going to be bringing out hybrids as well. You might want to wait for that. But you're right about the German brands, it's plug-in hybrid.
So what we should do
is really the one to go, is if you want a hybrid.
What we should do is hook this person up with question number 1 about the NX plug-in.
Yeah.
And maybe take their NX plug-in that's coming. There you go. You can have
I think
an
he
NX
wanted a
and a
hybrid,
plug-in.
though. He doesn't want a plug-in.
I know,
He
I'm just saying.
wants
You can just play along, Andrea. Come on, play along.
Play along. Best show and best content. Thank you. My wife and I are currently looking for a luxury hybrid SUV. Oh my gosh. We currently have a 2015 Nissan Murano Platinum. We did a quick check with the math to see how much we would save on gas, but quickly realized that we wouldn't save that much, since we'll have to get premium fuel, 40 to 50 cents per liter than regular gas in Quebec. Anyway, we'll stick with the plan because we want that luxury car feeling. Which 3 luxury hybrid SUVs would you go for? Wow.
So we just went through that. But you know what I love about that comment is that you actually ran the numbers and you actually did the math. And I think for a lot of people, sometimes spending all that money for a plug-in isn't the way to go.
No.
And the other thing is, I just want to say one thing, Andrew. You can talk all you want about the cars available. Isn't this interesting? We have been talking on this broadcast for Questions, Coffee, and Cars and through a lot of our videos, is that the market is being driven by hybrids and plug-in hybrids. We don't get a lot of questions about full EVs.
No.
You, as our audience, are reflecting back to what we think is this is where the market is right now. It's hybrids and plug-ins. That's what people seem comfortable with.
And the great thing about hybrids is you don't plug them in. And the great thing about plug-in hybrids is you can use a level 1 charger to charge it at home.
And you don't have to stop on the highway if you want to keep driving.
And you don't need the expense of a level 2. So I think there's a lot of benefits with either of them. And also battery replacement costs are less with those vehicles because the batteries are smaller. So I think we covered the
last
three.
question,
Yeah, there just aren't any. And you can consider Genesis might be coming up with one, and that Lincoln Nautilus.
The new Toyota Crown Signia is going to be coming out in a few months. And
That's a hybrid.
That might be the way to go
And
too.
really, it really has a Lexus feel to that interior. Hi, you two. I pretty much am set on my next car being a new Corolla sedan hybrid. But I'm torn between the LE all-wheel drive and the SE all-wheel drive. Can you make a case from one over the other? What would be the deciding factors for you?
It comes down to the feature set. Same car, same running gear, same engine, same everything. The SE is the sportier one. It looks a little sportier on the outside. So I think it comes down to the features. And you know that Andrea went online and looked up the feature set for the LE and the SE. So Andrea, over to you. What features do you get in one or the other?
So there's over a $2,000 difference between the two, obviously paying more for the SE. But the SE gets a wireless charger, a moonroof, 18-inch wheels versus 15-inch wheels in the LE. So do you want those extra features? I think that's pretty good for $2,000, those extras.
You know
and
what?
I don't really want 15-inch wheels.
You know what, Andrea? It goes back to my comment a moment ago. I buy what I want. And the difference in price per month, and probably with an economy car like that, most people are financing it or leasing it.
Yeah.
They're not just going in and carving a check. They're more conscious about their money. The good news is you're buying a great car, like a really good car.
Yeah.
Corolla hybrid, and you can get the all-wheel drive if you want, and it's just going to do everything you want each and every day. Just get the one you want. It will work out in the end. You'll be able to afford either one.
Also, I think the resale value on the SE model will be better with those extra features. It's a win-win for you. Get the SE.
Okay, are you dating somebody? Okay, this is going to help answer your question. Ask your significant other, your squeeze, which one they want to be seen in. And if you're single, which one do you think is going to have a better shot with the opposite sex?
I don't think I'd want to date somebody who focuses on that myself, but
Andrea, you don't want to meet a nice guy with a Corolla SE? Come on.
no, I'm
all day
saying
long.
that I wouldn't want to date someone who would judge me based on a base model or an SE. That's all I'm saying. So get what you like, but I do believe those extra features will be better for you in the long run when you sell the vehicle. Love, love, love your show. I have a 2021 VW Arteon that I'm leasing. I'm not sure if I should just turn it back in or buy it out. It only has 18,000 miles on it. And the buyout is around $19,000. I love this car, but I do like the redesign of the Atlas Cross Sport.
Listen, I mean, it's got so few miles on it, and you can buy it out for pretty much not much. And it's not sold any longer, and it's a cool car. It's basically a Golf R running gear built into a sedan. I mean, I love the Arteon. I think it's a wonderful product. It was overpriced when it was new.
Yeah.
But boy, it's a nice product. I mean, like, think about this. What can you buy today for 19 grand?
Nothing.
It's got hardly any, it's not
Nothing.
even broken in yet.
So I would keep it. You love it. You said you absolutely love it. Why have the extra expense? Keep it, enjoy it. It's been good to you.
One other thing.
Like I always say, when you bring back a vehicle that has hardly any mileage on it, it's just a win for the dealership.
I was just going to
Keep
say
it
that.
for yourself.
The dealer's going to go, look at this one. It's only got 19,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Put it on the lot for 27,000 and we'll get some sucker.
Save yourself a few bucks. Go on a nice vacation.
There you go.
You don't have all this expense of a brand new Cross Sport. Keep the Arteon.
You know what? Last trip we were on with Volkswagen was in the south of France. go to the south of France. You'll like it. It's great.
Beautiful. Anyway, that's it for us. Our questions, coffee and cars. If you want to get a question and follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time. We put a post out, ask for your questions. Once we gather them all, that post is deleted and we start the show.
Okay, here, Andrea, here's a real hard fact. Because you're so dialed in on all the different trims, you would get in a Corolla and you'd close the door and you'd go, base model. You would.
I'd close the door and I'd say base model, but maybe
Should've
we're
got the
going out.
SE.
Maybe we're going on a vacation together.
To
Maybe
the
we're
south of
going to go
France.
to a great place for dinner. You know what? It's not really about that. Hey, I had a base model Colt, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
It was good.
And you didn't want to give it up.
No,
So
I loved it too.
get what you can afford and enjoy your life.
Yeah. Don't buy a crappy car. Get the good one.
Yeah.
That's
and
the way I
my
roll.
advice is date a nice person. Doesn't care about
If they
that
judge
stuff.
you on your base model, get rid of them.
Who cares? Who cares? You're out.
All right,
Thanks
that's it.
for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.